keep an eye on today. But now we've got Scott Bauer. He's the CEO of Prosper Trading Academy joining us. He's going to take a look at a couple movers. Welcome to the show, Scott. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Tom.
As always, good to see you again, buddy. So first name I wanted to kind of hit on was Tesla. It's down over 3.5% this week, down over 100% from the highs that we've seen recently. What are you seeing in Tesla as this stock continues to get pummeled here?
You know, it could just be some profit taking. And the thing I'm really looking at from a technical standpoint, Tom, is the 50-day moving average, which right now is right around 760. That 50-day moving average has been just incredible support for this stock going back years, even pre-split. So we hit there almost earlier today, a couple dollars away, hit there almost a couple dollars away yesterday, and the stock bounced real significantly from those levels, 2-3% off of that. Now it's trading off of that right now. So I'm looking at that again, and I have not done anything. But if this thing trades right back down there, you know, we're not that far away from there, I would be a buyer of some call options or upside call spread. The reason I say a buyer of call options as opposed to perhaps a seller of puts or a seller of put spreads if I wanted to get long is because implied volatility, option volatility, is actually pretty cheap. Normally, when we see a sell-off like this, we're going to see volatility increase. That has not happened here, and Tesla's implied vol is trading down near its low point in about the last year.
Yeah, that's pretty surprising, Scott, and I think that's a good point to make for traders out there is even though that stock has been sliding, implied volatility across the equity markets come down a little bit, so it might give you some opportunities there. But we definitely see a lot of speculative call buyers in there anytime Tesla's up on a day, so maybe not a bad place to pick out here for Tesla. Yep. Now with Micron, I wanted to hit on that one. It's up about 2.75%, just below 20-year highs on this stock, Scott. I mean, you know, this is one when we were down on the trading floor, it was a big mover and it traded a lot, but it's had a steady grind higher. What are you seeing here for Micron?
Steady grind is right, Tom. And anybody that's been waiting for a pullback to get in, you just haven't really seen one. This stock has nearly doubled since August, so about 6 months. There's a chip shortage right now that we know about. There's higher chip prices coming. And a leading analyst, a Citi analyst, just came out, I think it was yesterday, maybe the day before, extremely bullish on this stock, which is, I think, why, you know, we're seeing that rally today and, you know, stock trading near its all-time highs again. Unlike Tesla, where implied volatility is very cheap, it's not so cheap in Micron historically. So if somebody wanted to take a bullish position here, I'm not saying don't buy calls or don't buy a call spread, but this might be an idea where you might be better off selling some puts because premium levels are higher.
Yeah, and typically, Scott, I'll cover a lot of unusual option activity, and it seems like every day Micron's got just speculative call buyers to the upside. Now, I kind of wanted to pivot on Micron because we do see a lot of call buying, and it's usually out of the money to the upside. Typically, when you're putting on positions, and I know you trade mostly options like myself, do you like to buy those at the money or slightly in the money options when taking a bullish stance, or do you like to buy those the cheaper out of the money calls that even if the stock rises, those calls might not gain value because implied volatility falls? Where do you typically look on a name like Micron?
Yeah, I usually look at slightly out of the money, maybe 30, 35 delta calls. But what I also do, Tom, is depending on the time frame I'm looking to go out, you know, I take a look at what is the expected move, right? What is the option market pricing in that the market is expected for a particular stock to move? So let's say in the case of Micron, let's say by March expiration, and I haven't looked right now, but let's say the expected move was about $10, targeting 98 or so, you know, from where we are right now. Right now, I'm probably going to buy the 92.5, 93 calls, which are, you know, slightly out of the money at this point.
Yeah, you're putting less capital at risk also on those calls, which is an important point there. And then the final one I wanted to kind of hit on, Scott, was PayPal. It's down 2 days in a row. I mean, when was the last time you could say that about PayPal? It just hit all-time highs and off about 3% today. What are you seeing of PayPal?
You know, you can say the same about many stocks out there, but maybe this one just got a little ahead of itself, a little bit too far, too fast. It has definitely rallied over the past couple months, almost lockstep with Bitcoin. Now, I don't want to make that correlation and say, okay, PayPal is a Bitcoin stock. It's going to, trade like that, because I'm not so sure that correlation is going to hold for the longer term. However, we know what they're doing. We know what Square is doing, trying to really ramp up what they can do in the crypto space. And they're actually battling with Square for that crypto space. Now, the fundamentals, though, of PayPal are unbelievable. They have almost 400 million active accounts. So, this is this is a company that is almost like a brand name, right? Everybody knows PayPal, and lots of people that I know, almost everybody I know has a PayPal account. That doesn't mean everybody does, but it's absolutely unbelievable. However, there's fundamentals, there's technicals here. In terms of, where I would want to get into this stock, there's a gap in this stock around 260 from where it gapped higher just a few weeks ago. That's an area I'd look for if this sell-off continues. And I don't know that it's going to get there. That's an entry area that I would look for to buy either some upside calls or sell some puts in PayPal.
Now, if you take a look at this space in general, Scott, we've seen Visa and MasterCard kind of plateau, consolidate a little bit, and then you're seeing the Squares and the PayPals taking off because of the innovation that they're bringing to the space. Now, as the reopening trade starts to take hold, we get vaccinated, businesses start to reopen. Is this going to pivot maybe where you're not doing as many online purchases using the PayPal and the Square, but you're going to start focusing more on Visa and MasterCard?
It very well could. However, I'm going to take the opposite side of that and look at when we have the reopening and people are actually buying in person, which we all can't wait to do. How many people are actually going to carry cash anymore? And how many people actually carried cash around with them prior to all of the lockdowns? So when you go to pay now in a reopening, whether it's Visa, MasterCard, or maybe there's going to be a new technology where I have a chip, a PayPal chip, or I tap my phone, which is out there right now, and I could pay with my Square app. So I think the innovation that they have, that Square has, is light years ahead from a MasterCard, from a Visa, and they will be on top of this. And I really don't see the reopening as a detriment to them at all.
Hey, Scott, if you ever need to borrow cash, I'm old school. I'm an old guy. I've always got cash on me. Kevin Hinks taught me that years ago, and I'm sure if you ask Kevin for a few bucks cash, he's got some in his wallet too, I bet.
Oh, Kevin always does. Yeah, absolutely.
That's right. All right. Hey, Scott, thanks for the conversation. Appreciate it. Scott's the CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. Thanks for joining us.